Disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by nor am I affiliated with any of the companies mentioned in this video. All opinions represented are mine and mine alone. They do not represent anyone besides myself. Your opinions may differ. That's okay. Try this stuff out for yourself to find out if it works for you. Hi everyone, it's me, Krista. If you've been here before, welcome back to my channel. If not, welcome for the very first time to my little art corner here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be unboxing the July 2019 Sketchbox. First, I do want to point out that on the outside of the box we have a featured artist. This is by Heather Wunsch, or Wunsch, and her Instagram is at Heather Wunsch Art. I remember seeing this on Sketchbox's Instagram. I believe she did these fashion sketches using that fashion illustration box. The first item that I pulled out is the menu that tells you exactly what comes inside the box. It also will occasionally give you ideas on how to use what is in there. The exact same sticker that I've gotten in quite a few of these sketch boxes is right here. They really do not switch it up much. The July featured artist is Janice Rago. Janice Rago was born in Hawaii and grew up moving around the world. Her young life was molded from cultures in the South Pacific, Europe, and South Georgia. With that background, her style has developed into a diverse and eclectic collection of figures and styles. She focuses on feminine beauty while exploring new mediums and techniques to bring her work to life. She has a BFA in studio art from Valdosta State University and is currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia as a painter and mural artist. Her Instagram is at Janice Rago Art, and her website is www.janiceragoart.com. As always, if you want to get your art featured, email example of your work to info@getsketchbox.com. The first items that come with these Sketchbox that are actually art supplies are going to be two Copic sketch markers, and these are in lavender and violet. Normal retail price is $7.99 each, and these are a staff favorite. This month is all about illustration markers. Copic sketch markers are by far our most requested item. They're the gold standard in illustration for a reason. The brush nib is soft, buttery, and lays down color with ease. I have these. I know how they work. I'm going to assume that you've all seen a bunch of videos about these markers and how they work, so we're not going to really get into that too much. There's a brush tip and there is a chisel tip. They both work really well. You can refill the ink, etc., etc. Next. I've been getting Sketchbox boxes since January. I even got their special release fashion illustration one. I am noticing a color scheme that is really enjoyed, because this happened with the watercolor colored pencils too. They're also Sketchbox signature. They like doing pinks, oranges, and purples together, usually with a green thrown in as well. Whoever picks the colors for these boxes, I think, has a preferred color palette and likes sticking with that color palette. In some ways it's nice because I can totally use these markers and the Copic markers with that watercolor pencil set that I got from the March box. It's also limiting because I don't get as many colors. That's my opinion on it. If you've noticed this or have any opinions about what I just said, please let me know in that comment section down below. But now I'm actually going to read the description for these three markers. It is 3 Sketchbox Signature Brush Markers 2.0. Retail price $6.99 each, and it's an exclusive, and it's exclusive because it's their brand. We developed this product last year wanting to improve the nib from our first round of brush markers. We spent a lot of time sourcing the perfect brush nib, and we're really proud of the result. Compare them to the Copic sketch markers in your box this month. We included 3 brand new floral colors: Coral Reef, Blush, and Tangerine. And I'm just going to kind of look at the nib on the Coral Reef color. It's a pretty firm brush nib. It doesn't feel like it has a lot of give to it. It's also kind of hard to open, which might also mean that it's hard to snap closed, so I want to maybe try to keep an eye on that. Because if you don't close the lids on markers, they can go bad really easily. The chisel tip nib is pretty large, and it has no flexibility whatsoever. So we will see later how that lays down when I actually play with stuff. Yep. This one kind of terrifies me a little bit. This is one marker apparently with like 3 different color chambers. It also just looks like they're normal little bullet nibs because I already opened it up to kind of see what the heck was going on with this. This is the Spectrum Noir TriBlend in light green. The retail price for this is normally $4.95, and this is apparently a new product. A new release from Spectrum Noir. This marker has 3 separate ink reservoirs in adjacent colors for blending. We included this to add some greens to your floral palette this month. I feel like this one's going to be hard to use just because of the size of it. But we will get into that later. Okay. So, that is one of the nibs. It's pretty tiny. It's not going to be good for very large pieces. So you can see it's kind of interesting. This is an interesting concept. Is this one on the other end? Yeah, they're all like the same nib size, 3 different colors. I'm scared of this one, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of freaks me out. But we will see how well it works. The last marker we are getting is from King Art, and it is a King Art ink-lined brush pen. The retail price is normally $2.99. This is a great brush pen. The fiber nib is resilient yet responsive. Use it to add illustrative outlines to your art this month. Oh, it's black. I thought because of the casing it might be white. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah. Just a tiny little pointy brush nib. Very pointy. You could probably get some really nice lines with that. We will see. The final item that comes in this month's Sketchbox is a Strathmore 4x6-inch marker pad, and the retail price is normally $3.99. This will be interesting because I've actually never used marker paper. I always use bristle board or watercolor paper when I am doing marker work. So this will be fun. Love trying out new paper. This is ideal for all marker types. The paper in Strathmore marker pads has a silky smooth surface. Markers glide easily for seamless blending, and colors retain their vibrancy or subtle hue. We love this paper. It's perfect for alcohol and water-based inks. It allows blending and doesn't bleed. Very cool. The puppy drawing is really, really well done. I would not have guessed that was marker by looking at it. It's very realistic, and I like how the background's a little abstracted. But now that we know everything that's in here, we will have to figure out what we are going to do. And once we figure that out, it'll be next. It did take me a while to figure out exactly what I wanted to draw for this, especially with the colors. For some reason, that green was throwing me off. I decided to take a break and download a Final Fantasy phone game. And the first summon that I got in there, the first Esper, is actually Siren, and the colors in there match perfectly. Siren is one of my favorites espers from all the Final Fantasy games. I think it's probably because one of the first ones I played was Final Fantasy VIII. And she is definitely in that game pretty early. And she was pretty useful. Also, she's just beautiful. I'm still drawing her in my own style. I didn't really want to do a particularly anime or manga-ish style. I wanted it to still look like something I drew. So this is my artistic interpretation of that character. I do also like how they make sure to include feathers in pretty much every interpretation of Siren, because in Greek mythology they did originally start as having feathers. They became convoluted with mermaids much, much later. Since this is a copyrighted character, this one will not be for sale. Neither the original nor the print will be. I am going to add in the links for my Redbubble and my Etsy store in case you guys are interested in buying any other paintings or prints or stickers that I've previously done. Now to talk about the actual drawing process itself. I started by just using a plain mechanical pencil. It's just a Bic pencil number 2 with 0.7mm lead. Just a normal, everyday, probably like 25-cent pencil, if that. And I started throwing in the base color for the skin tone in blush, and then throwing in some of the purple over it. I'm going to be using all these different colors in different ways. The markers work pretty well, actually. The SketchBox ones do, at least. They worked pretty well with the Copic. They laid down nicely. I had no issues with those at all. I actually liked the colors and how they went together. I know I said earlier that this is a color scheme we've had before, but the tones of all of them, they just are beautiful together. Very pretty pastel. And like with every piece I do, I am using the different colors completely together. I'm using a lot of the purples for shading, even on top of the orange kind of feathery bra area. I'm just going to refer to it as bra. Her top, corset, whatever it's supposed to be. Her little feather clothing. I'm using a little bit of purple on top of that as well for shading, and honestly for the skin tone as well. They're good for shadows on skin tones, as I've said multiple times. You will definitely see my phone in a couple shots. I am looking at a reference photo of art from Brave Exvius to make sure that I at least have the components correct. Even though I'm going for a different style, I wanted it to still look like her. Okay. I did actually have a problem with that Spectrum Noir marker set. First of all, it doesn't lay down quite as well as the SketchBox markers or the Copics. I don't expect them to be as great as Copics, but it didn't lay down nearly as well as even the SketchBox ones or Prismacolor ones I've used, or even other Spectrum Noir ones I've used. Another thing is they squeak a lot, and it's really, really annoying sound. I haven't experienced that since using Crayola markers. The squeak, 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 squeak. Ugh. Drove me crazy. It is a pretty green. It's just not quite as pigmented as I would like for what I like for my markers. And the sound they made just annoyed me to no end. Ugh. Cringe. The Spectrum Noir marker was also annoying because of having to basically take it apart like Legos in between, and it's just bulky. I just didn't care for the experience at all with using them. I thought I might have an issue with the bulkiness, but even, like I said, the pigment wasn't great for me, and the sound was not great for me either. The King Art Inkline brush pen was really nice. I enjoyed using it a lot. I was able to get a lot of different kinds of widths of lines, thicknesses. And you can do kind of scratchy cross-hatching really well with it. I really enjoyed that, and I will definitely be using it for other stuff in the future. Even though it is another black pen, it's one that I really, really enjoyed using. I was able to get super thin lines with it. Love it. And at this point, the feather hair looks a lot more like leaves, and ends up looking a little bit more feathery later. What I did was kind of blocked in the colors first, and then used that wonderful little King Art brush pen to kind of differentiate and use nice little feathery strokes in different ways to make it feel more like feathers. I also pulled in the tangerine color. At least I think it's what it's called. Yes, it's called tangerine, and a little bit of the pink and with those feathers as well to make it look a little bit more like parakeet feathers. The only item that came in this box that I haven't talked about yet is the Strathmore marker paper. It worked pretty well with the markers. I think I still prefer Bristolboard. This paper is a little bit thinner than I would like for marker work, but that's just because personal preference. I like thicker paper in general. It feels more substantial, and you don't have to worry quite as much about messing it up the thicker it is, because the thicker, the sturdier. It didn't really bleed through badly on the other side, even though it is thinner. If I look through the back, I can definitely see quite a bit of the colors through it, but it didn't bleed through and it didn't eat through the paper, so it worked well with the marker. Still prefer Bristolboard though. I also do cheat a little bit later, like I normally do. I pulled in a Sakura white gel pen, little jelly roll pen, to help bring out some of those whites a little bit further, and I also outlined around her in white just to pull her out even more from that purple background. I actually really like how that part of it turned out. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this project turned out. Even though at the beginning I was super worried about what to do with the colors, I found my way there. And that's part of the fun and the challenge of these boxes, is getting what they send you and figuring out what you can do with it. It's limiting with the color palette and everything, and with the supplies, but it also helps a lot with creativity and problem solving and figuring out, okay, this is what I got. What can I do? And that's why I like doing these boxes and these videos. I enjoy being able to use different kinds of supplies, being introduced to it, figuring out exactly how it works, and I also like the challenge and that process of figuring out what can I do with it. It's just a lot of fun for me, and hopefully it's fun for you guys too. I think I am going to give this drawing to my boyfriend because he actually plays Final Fantasy Brave Exvius a lot. He's been playing for forever. I've been holding off on starting it. He actually has a Twitch channel too called Fad Sword, and I think this is usually the game he plays on there. If you want to check him out, you should do that if you feel so inclined. And this video here is almost done. I do want to take this moment to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this video, to watch me draw, and to listen to me ramble about art supplies and some not so related art stuff. If you liked this video, please feel free to hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, feelings, or concerns, please feel free to let me know in that comment section down below. I look very forward to hearing from you. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. I do SketchBox videos once a month. I also do Art Snacks unboxing videos once a month. If you're interested in either of those things, once again, please hit that subscribe button. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm ready to head on out. I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye!